All right, enough United. How about some quick hits instead?
This is where I say, let's go, Gab. I'm going to go, vamos, Gabriel.
Very good.
Go,
very nicely done. Yeah. Bernardo Silva has extended his contract at Manchester City through 2026, and having signed Jeremy Doku, City are now pursuing one of Wolves' Mateus Nunes and Crystal Palace's Eberechi Eze, both in the 50 million plus range. Rob, who's a better fit?
50 million, having seen them both with my own eyes, I'd go for Mateus Nunes. I think he's the more complete player. He's the one that could come into the team. He's going to be a squad player, somebody that's on the fringes. I think Eze is somebody that needs to be developed, and he's still a bit of a raw diamond as well. So if I was investing 50 million myself, I think I'd go for Nunes of the two of them.
Nunes is far more versatile as well, as I see it.
Absolutely, and he's an international class player. Speaking of Doku, Gab, you're a big fan? What do you know of him?
I'm a really big fan because I find him to be an extremely exciting, electric player. He's a winger who takes people on and beats people, and he's fast and he makes things happen. He does not seem to be. It's weird because he does not seem to be an obvious fit for a Pep team in that
he's not consistent, is he?
He's inconsistent. He doesn't always do the work off the ball. Mm-hmm. But then he's only 21. And we've seen Pep loving the idea of working with players. I think there's a bit of the early Leroy Sané in there. And that was very up and down with him at City. Yep. That said, he's there to fill the Mahrez role, I think. And when you look at players who can do that at City, Jack Grealish also takes people on, but he does it kind of like more at a trundle than at an acceleration.
He's a speedster, isn't he?
This guy is a burner. He's an absolute speedster. So it makes sense. It's a long-term project. We keep talking about this in every show, but now we're assured by Fabrizio Romano that it's actually going to happen. João Cancelo to Barcelona on loan. Your take, Rob?
I'm going to be controversial here. I saw Cancelo in his early days when he was at Valencia, when Gary Neville, believe it or not, was playing him on the left wing. He's a guy that still... He fails to convince me. I know you're a big fan of his, actually, but for me, he never has a good run. He always seems to have an issue with the management of the team or looking at the next move. Yep, Barcelona need a right back. You don't play right back at Barcelona Football Club. You're a right-sided attacking guy that on the team sheet you're on the right back. They need a Dani Alves, and on a good day he fits with Barcelona. I'm not personally sure that he's the man to go to Barcelona Football Club and be the answer. But then again, I don't know who there is out there. They've got rid of Dest. They've tried various people at right back that are not a fit there at the moment. So on the face of things, Cancelo is a right back that's good enough for that. I'm not sure that he is the long-term answer though.
Go three at the back and play Lamine Yamal, I say. But no, look, that guy can do anything. My one concern here is you're going from having a center back as your right back to essentially having a winger as your right back. And what does it also mean for Balde on the other side? Because we saw him play even at the weekend. We saw him play so high up the pitch. He's really good at that. You can't play two guys that high up the pitch. No, can you in the modern game?
I don't think so. I think you're right. And Cancelo is a little bit wild, isn't he? He goes flying down that right-hand side. Balde might be the answer. They've been playing Balde on the right-hand side as well. But in answer to your question, I'm not sure Cancelo is the answer. Gazzetta dello Sport report Mancini is set to be unveiled as Saudi Arabia's new manager in the next week. Is this something that was supposed to happen, Gab?
No, it was not supposed to happen. It was rumored after his shock resignation where he was unhappy with the FA support, blah, blah, blah. And people said to him, oh, no, of course not. It's not Saudi. Now, apparently, and again, it's unconfirmed, Gazzetta, but normally it's the front page. They went very hard on this. He's going to manage a Saudi national team who have games coming up this weekend. Getting paid $30-odd million a year, supposedly. I don't think this is a good look for Mancini at all. I appreciate everybody's a right to go and make a lot of money and so on, but when you've said the things you've done, when you've shown the commitment to the Italian FA, when the Italian FA showed their commitment to you, even after missing out on World Cup qualification, this feels like a money grab and nothing more from a guy who already has a ton of money.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Were they not a decent team in the last World Cup, though? Did they not surprise people? And they've got players coming in to teach them the game in Saudi Arabia as well. Maybe they're an emerging nation.
Maybe they are, but, if that's what you do, then come on and say it.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Right. I don't actually believe what I say.
This is way back on Monday, but Arsenal won away to Crystal Palace 1-0 thanks to a Martin Odegaard penalty. Rob, according to reports, now the last few days are all about them trying to raise some cash to offset their earlier spending. Suggestions are going to shift Balogun, which seems pretty obvious, but also Gabriel. Does this seem wise to you?
Balogun, yes, because the transfer window is looming and players' values are rising as we get close to the transfer deadline day. So if they can get 50 million for him now, they're probably going to do that, probably less so when it gets to January. It's clearly not part of the bigger plan, doesn't quite fit in with what Arteta has got there. So yeah, they're going to cash in. Gabriel, they know what they're doing internally.
Ooh, yeah, a lot of face there.
Well, Bayern are close to confirming the signing of Daniel Perez from Maccabi Tel Aviv. Gab, is he the answer for Bayern Munich, who got big problems between the sticks?
Well, he's 23. He's going to cost him about 5 million. He has just one single cap. This doesn't seem to fit what they said they were going to do, which is get an established Champions League caliber goalkeeper, but then also somebody who's going to be happy to step aside when Manuel Neuer returns. I think you can get somebody like that because something like that doesn't exist. So instead, they went for a youngster they hope they can develop. It suggests, unless they bring somebody else in the final hours of the window, it suggests they're going in a totally different direction. I don't know. Good luck to Perez. Excited to see him play.
Decent
One
keeper.
Israeli cap.
Decent keeper, you know.
You've seen him?
Yeah. I did a couple of the Israel games. And
You're the goalkeeper. You know.
He's not bad.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.